Welcome to the channel. And today I wanted to touch on inspiration and influence. And of course, there's positive and negative inspiration and influence in our lives. And we are experiencing, thank goodness, a huge amount of people converting to Catholicism. Big name celebrities, but also everyday people like you and me, not just in the US, but all over the world and in countries that you would least expect it. Many countries in Africa, Vietnam, even China and Japan. The numbers are growing, and what's also encouraging are those that are entering the religious life. And as a Catholic, you have to sometimes step back and think, well, who's calling? Yeah, we know God is calling these people to consider religious life, but I do believe that there's much more influence that is at play here and inspiration. So just think about it, if you're older like me, when we were young, who were some of the people that influenced you and inspired you maybe to enter a certain profession, whether it was the medical field or a teacher or a musician or whatever it might be. But there's almost always certain people in our lives that are a very positive influence and inspiration for us to consider that path. And so, yes, we know God is going to call these people to the religious life, and hopefully they will see fit to answer that call. But I do believe we have a responsibility as Catholics to help foster that, meaning that we need to encourage, especially young people, children, to be open to the religious life and to that call of the religious life. And I think when and if that call ever does come for them, all those seeds of affirmation that we and others have planted to them is going to affirm their decision and their choice that yes, I do hear God's calling me. And others also along the way over the years as I grew up inspired me and gave me encouragement and thought also that this could be a vocation for me to consider. So I just want to put this out there that if you come across really anybody, right, that exudes the slightest bit of virtue, holiness, doing the right thing as children, encourage them. And just, you don't have to put any pressure on them, but just say, as my dad once said when I was a child, Dennis, I think you'd make a good priest. And I love my dad, and he passed away some years ago, but I remember him fondly and dearly, have the greatest of memories. And he was a devout Catholic all his life, never faltered, and was a great example, a man full of integrity and character, and that is my inspiration all throughout my life, is my dad. And there was not a lot, but maybe half a dozen times from when I was 8 years old to maybe 18 years old, where my dad would just say something kind of out of the blue, Dennis, I think you'd make a good priest. And I was not ever considering the religious life, ever. Later, after I was married, I thought, I wonder if this would have been something I would have considered had I been called. But it's all too late for that now. But my dad's approach, I think, was appropriate, and just putting it out there that, Dennis, I think you'd make a good priest. And I think that's all that God is asking for us, is just to say something similar to encourage children and young adults to be open to that not just God sees something in them, but that we, as their brother, sister, parent, friend, that we see something in them as well. And then if and when the time comes and they do receive that call from above, that will be something that they remember, that years along the way, others had also thought that they would be a good priest or sister or brother and consider that call to religious life. So let's all do our part, our little part, to help encourage those. So thanks so much for watching, and God bless.